I need to eat the black. Give me the power, I beg of you.
Sabina Jason, and well, I'm officially a few days away from going to see the new Child's Play. It's already out in theaters, and I've just seen Cody Leach's review, which was done very well, and he has me really fucking hyped to see this shit. And I've seen a few other reviews that's got me real excited for the new movie, and so yeah, my review for the new Child's Play will be coming up at the latest this weekend or early next week. But for right now, I want to talk about the original Child's Play, the 1988 original, the OG, directed by Tom Holland and starring Alex Vincent, Catherine Hicks, Brad Dourif, and Chris Sarandon. So yeah, basically the plot of Child's Play, the original, is about a little boy named Andy Barkley who for his 6th birthday wants nothing more than a good guy doll. And he's an avid collector of everything good guy. You know, this kid's got the fucking good guy toolkit. He's got the good guy breakfast cereal. He's got the fucking good guy PJ sneakers. He's got everything good guy except the fucking doll that Play Pal Company has made. And who comes to his rescue? His mom, Karen Barkley, played by Catherine Hicks. And the whole relationship between Andy and his mom jives very well in this movie. Throughout the whole movie, they're very sympathetic characters, and you do feel sorry for them quite a bit at certain points. And like I said, the chemistry on screen between them two, you could tell they hung out on set a lot before filming because they do jive really well as mother and son, and you do buy that they are mother and son, and that they're living together in this isolated kind of life because she's a single mother trying to survive and make ends meet and give her kid the best life that he can ever have. You know, she's a single mother, a widowed mother. Her husband died years ago. We don't know what the hell happened to Andy's father. A little trivia piece that I will mention though is that at one point in Andy's room, if you look over on his mantle or a little desk, there's a picture of his dad, but it's also a picture of the director Tom Holland. That's supposed to be his dad, but I don't know why they chose a picture of Tom Holland to be his dad. But oh well, fuck it, you know. But I always thought that was a cool little catch that I've picked up on years ago. So if any of you hadn't caught that, check it out next time you watch Child's Play. And like I said, she finds Andy, the good guy doll, behind her department store where she works at, and it's some old fucking peddler, this creepy ass, sleazy looking bum that looks like a methed out, cracked out version of Gene Simmons from Kiss. She pays $50 for the fucking doll and just doesn't even ask where it came from. You know, has no fucking idea. Even her best friend Maggie, who is Aunt Maggie in this, who suffers a brutal death at the hands of Chucky early on in the movie, you know, and while babysitting Andy, uh, tells Karen, you don't even know where the fuck the damn thing came from, you know, and that was a good question because she should have wondered. I mean, you got a homeless guy in the back alley just rolling around peddling with a buggy and a doll in the back of it, so maybe he was looking for some crack money for drugs. I don't know. But she takes the doll home. Andy's ecstatic. He's fucking happy. It's a pig and shit that he finally got the good guy doll. It's everything he's ever fucking wanted. But little do they know that the doll is actually possessed by the soul of a serial killer, Charles Lee Ray. Which another fun fact for y'all is the fact that the name Charles Lee Ray is actually compiled of 3 real names of real life serial killers. And I don't know how to come up with that shit or what made them do that, but it's an interesting choice that the filmmakers did with this movie. I always thought was cool is that they gave Chucky uh, his whole name is compiled of 3 real life serial killers. I know Charles is from Charles Manson and Lee is from Lee Harvey Oswald, who killed Kennedy. At least that's what I think anyways. I'm not going to get into that shit, so all you conspiracy nuts, chill the fuck out. I'm not trying to open a debate for that. Anyways, yeah, and the Ray, I'm not sure. I can't say indefinitely where the Ray comes from, but I know Charles and Lee is from 2 previous serial killers who are now dead, thank God, and hopefully Ray is too, whoever the fuck Ray was. If you know who the hell Ray is that name's based on, let me know down below in the comments, and we'll talk about this shit. But I want to talk about Chucky for a minute. Brad Dourif's performance as Chucky in this, badass. It's fucking awesome as shit. And to this day, it's still the standard when it comes to Chucky. Like, as a few people I've seen review the new movie that they've said, the Chucky in the Universal series, it will always be the icon, the fucking iconic version of Chucky that we all know and love. And the new version, I doubt will even come close to that. But Brad's performance as this, as not only Charles Lee Ray, but as the doll Chucky, is bad fucking ass, and I love it. His vocal talents, the way he fucking strains his voice when he gives these blood-curdling, just heart-wrenching screams and guttural screams whenever he's in pain or whenever he's fucking laughing maniacally. And I know that dude's vocal cords had to be fucked by the end of this movie because Brad puts on a hell of a show for us. And the little kid voice, the "Hi, I'm Chucky, want to play?" That wasn't him. That was someone else that did that. But the Chucky version of the good guy doll, it's just creepy as shit. It's eerie as hell. It's just disturbing, and it's just, it's really fucking weird and bizarre, and I love it. I love its sinister laugh, its personality, its larger than life personality that it gives Chucky in this, and the way he's able to manipulate Andy and make him think he's his best friend, and just he has everybody fooled because Andy knows the truth. He knows that Chucky's been fucking lying to him and playing with his fucking head this whole time. But throughout the movie, Andy tries to convince his mom and he tries to convince Detective Mike Norris that Chucky is the one who killed Maggie and he's the one responsible for all this shit. But nobody believes the fucking kid. Like, nobody. And, he's only 6 years old, so that's why I said Andy is a very sympathetic character in this movie, and you feel so bad for him because he knows the fucking truth, and deep down his mom knows it too, but she doesn't find out to the second act when Chucky comes alive in her fucking hands, and she's about to torch his ass because she realizes that this doll has been moving around and talking this whole time without any batteries. It's creepy as shit when he comes alive in her hands and he's like, "You stupid bitch, you filthy fucking slut, I'll teach you to fuck with me." That part right there is awesome as shit. I just love the hell out of that. And when he's trying to bite her and he bites her on the fucking arm and you see his little legs flailing in the back, it's so cute. I can't help it. It is funny as hell. Whenever Chucky strangles someone in these movies and whenever he's attacking someone, his little feet are pedaling behind him like he's pedaling on a goddamn bicycle. It's just funny as hell. I really hope they utilize that in the new movie. If they don't do that shit, I'm going to be pissed. That one may be a negative that happened in the new movie. If we don't see little Chucky's feet pedaling and shit. But moving on, yeah, Brad Dourif was badass. He's one of the best things about this movie, no doubt. For my likes, though, it's got to be, that's one of them, but the main likes that I've got to mention, though, is Andy and Karen's relationship in this movie as mother and son. It's very likable. It's very much real. You do buy that they are mother and son, like I said. Their chemistry is undeniable in this. And the devotion that she has for Andy and the helplessness that you feel from her when she realizes that if Andy tells the truth, at least that what they think is the truth, that she's going to lose her son. DHR is going to step in, they're going to take him away, and it just leaves her vulnerable, and she's begging for help from everybody, and the cop don't even believe her. He thinks she's full of shit until he fucking gets strangled almost in a goddamn cop car going down a road and shit, which is one of Chucky's favorite lines, my favorite lines that he has in this, when he grabs Mike around the neck and he says, "Good night, asshole." I just love that shit, man. The animatronics is the thing I kind of mentioned for this. Kevin Yeager, what he did with the Chucky doll and how he brought it to life in this, is just awesome as shit. And the whole puppet team of the puppeteers that bring Chucky to life throughout this movie, it's just amazing what they were able to do at this time in the world and back in '88. And even the good guy toolkit used a real fucking hammer, and thank God in 1988 they still made real fucking hammers for kids, and you just wouldn't see that these days. So it just wouldn't have worked out as well as it did. If they would have had a goddamn rubber hammer, you couldn't see Chucky killing Maggie with a rubber hammer. So I gotta mention that. But like I said, the animatronics were great. I loved it. And Chucky's one-liners, like when Karen goes to shoot him and the gun jams, he's like, "What's wrong? Gun jammed?" You just love that shit. Maybe it was improv. Maybe it was ad-libbed. I'm sure Brad did a little ad-lib here and there. His one-liners fell. They don't fall. No, I'm sorry. They fucking nail the shit out of him. Brad does a hell of a damn good job. Can't praise that dude enough. I love Brad fucking Dorf. Now, a side note, and this is just me being funny with my own dark, twisted sense of humor, but maybe some of my fellow subscribers and shit, I'm sure a few of them, Troy Willis and Robbie Long from Ogre Boy 1992, maybe they think the same way when I look at this, is that towards the end of the movie, in the third act, when Chucky, his motives have become clear, and that he wants to take over the soul of the Andy and place his soul inside his body so he can live throughout him. Because the more time he spends in this doll's body, the more human he becomes. And he's desperate to get inside the body of a 6-year-old boy. And that's what I would call Chucky's pedo vibes, is that if you take this movie out of context, all right, and forget the fact that he's a fucking doll and that his core purpose is to take over Andy and become human once again. If you look at it for face value, it seems really fucking child molester kind of, it's just really creepy because towards the end of the movie when he's attacking Andy and Karen, he's like, give me the boy, and I'll let you live. And he wants to get inside the body of a 6-year-old boy, and he lays in bed at night, they sleep together, and Andy kisses him on the jaw. It's just like, ugh. It's just creepy. I don't know. It just makes you wonder. You didn't get to see what happened between Andy and Chucky off screen, so it's just like, ugh. For me, it's kind of creepy, the shit he says to him. If you take it out of context, it's really fucked up. But anyways, that's just me. For negatives, it's not going to be really big negatives. It's just major nitpicks. That's all. Little small nitpicks, I guess. Not even major, really. It's the obvious stunt double they got for Chucky in this. There's scenes throughout the movie where I guess the doll was kind of held back and shit in certain scenes where it couldn't do certain things, perform certain tasks. And they had a little person, this female stunt woman. I can't remember her name, but she was also in Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. She played a hooker in that, I think. But she was a very well capable stunt woman, and God rest her soul. She's passed on since then. I think it was a year ago she died, maybe this year. But anyways, she played the stunt version of Chucky, and Chucky has a stunt double, a stand-in, in certain scenes where, for one scene in particular, is when Burnt Chucky, the charcoal version, has come back to try to kill Andy after being burnt to a crisp in the fucking fireplace. You see him slowly stalking Andy down the hallway with a knife in his hand, and his head is fucking significantly huge, way bigger, and his whole body is just bigger, like 3 times bigger. And it's just, you can't help but notice that. And it makes him look even more imposing and more terrifying, I guess you could say, but it's just, you can't help but notice this shit. Or like when he kicks out the fucking fireplace cover and you can tell it's a little person with a big ass Chucky head and coveralls and shit. And Chucky was even performed by a little girl at one point in this movie. There's a scene where Aunt Maggie is sitting on the couch reading a book while Andy's supposed to be in bed asleep, and you see Chucky scurry by real quick, which is creepy as shit, one of the creepiest parts of this movie. And that was actually Alex Vincent's real life little sister playing the part of Chucky in that. So I always thought that was cool as hell. But other than that, and Andy's kind of dragging his lines a little bit, like, Aunt Maggie, Chucky wants to watch the 9 o'clock news. And Chucky did it. Got BJ sneakers. And I don't know, it's just some of the lines he delivers. Like, he's 6 years old, so I'm not going to harp on it. I realize he's just a kid, but it's kind of added to the charm over the years. It's still adorable. It's still funny when you hear him say that shit. That's probably my favorite line out of this fucking movie is Aunt Maggie. Chucky wants to watch the 9 o'clock news. But it's just a little nitpick of mine. And this movie has a low body count. Very low body count. Only 3 victims of Chucky in this. He kills Eddie Caputo, whatever the fuck his name was. He also kills John the Voodoo guy and this doctor, the psychiatrist that tried to help Andy in this fucking prison-like, disgusting-looking childhood facility that they take Andy to at one point in the movie, and he electrocutes that dude. There were some grisly murders and shit that Chucky pulls off in this. Yeah, it was a very low body count for this first movie, so that's kind of a negative, I guess, for me, is I expected more, But it was the first one out of the franchise, so I guess you can forgive it for that. But anyways, If I had to rate this, I would probably rate it like a 5 out of 5 for me, just because of how iconic and how nostalgic it is for me. And I can't wait to see the new movie and see if it holds up, and see if I like it even more than the original, or if it compares at all to it for me. So I'm excited to see that, and I will give y'all my review of the new Child's Play as soon as possible. But this has been my review of Child's Play 1988. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know down below if you share the same feelings about it. If you thought that Chucky had some kind of ulterior motives, if he came out kind of creepy and pervy at certain points with certain things he said to Andy, and maybe that's just me being funny and fucked up. So, like I said, take it out of context, and it sounds really creepy with some of the shit he said to Andy and his mom at the end of the movie. And what was your favorite Chucky one-liners? And do you enjoy it as much as I do, or do you just straight up kind of meh, not really care about it? But anyways, let me know down below in the comments, and we'll talk about it. And let me know if you are going to see the new Child's Play that is already playing, I guess, today. And I don't even know if it's been released in my town yet. I think it's released tomorrow here. So plan to see it either tomorrow or Saturday. But until then, I will see y'all later. So like, share, subscribe, all that cool shit, and I'll see you later.